I think we're just waiting. Yay. Okay. Hello, everyone. It's Colleen Gallagher, and welcome to episode 87 of the Colleen Gallagher podcast. If you are a returning watcher, oh, hey. And if you are brand new, welcome. This podcast was created with the intention to be a space that you can come and tune in to receive the frequency that will activate, educate, and empower you to begin living a lifestyle you love that supports you financially. This became a passion of mine because I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer at age 14. After 9 long years of suffering, I self-healed my body, mind, and soul. So in these episodes, I bring you my own voice, as well as other people I meet along my journey, to offer perspective, inspiration, and real-life proof that when you choose to follow your dreams, you say yes to what is inside of your heart, that you will begin to create a lifestyle that is wildly impactful, fulfilling, and abundant beyond your wildest dreams. So get ready, tune in, subscribe, and please make sure to leave us a review if you love this. That way we know what you're loving. And you could always email us on my website, www.colleengallagher.co, to request episode topics and let us know how everything's going. And so with that, I'm super excited, you guys, today about today's episode. But one final thing before we get into it is our sponsor. And so if you have a business, you need a website. What's the best way to get a website up and running? I know for me, it took me like 3 or 4 people before I finally found the one. And so choosing a website hosting company that makes it simple, like Pair Networks. Pair has over 20 years of experiencing managing the entire digital ecosystem for thousands of online businesses all around the world. Pair makes it easy for you with do-it-yourself website building tools and features, including simple drag and drop page design, which, trust me, is a lifesaver. And they have guaranteed US-based support technicians ready to help you whenever you need it. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The fact that it's US based, you guys, is also huge. Most people are Philippine based or Indian based. So right now, when you sign up with Pair Networks, you'll receive 1 free month of web hosting. See for yourself how easy it is to build your website for free. Visit pair.com/free to get your first month of website hosting for free by using code QUICKSTART, QUICKSTART. That's pair.com/free, promo code QUICKSTART. Get ready today, or get started today. So anyway, with that, you guys, I am super excited to be live. I'm super excited to be sharing. I actually had to move this, like I said, well, I didn't say yet, but about an hour earlier than usual. I know you guys, I've said the time is going to be continue. I'm committed to do this 52-week episode again. And I think we're like, I don't know, close to 20 in. So we're almost like halfway there, which is pretty exciting. But the timing is going to be maybe varying. I'm going to aim my best for 9 a.m. every time, but I might be a little bit off just because my schedule really is getting so crazy. Like I just had to rebook my schedules. Like Mondays is only for this day. Tuesday is only for client one-on-one calls. Wednesdays only for courses. Thursdays for this new thing that I'm doing, and Fridays for my PhD. It's like I literally have to like segment my week because it's just so wild. So anyway, I'm committed to doing this. I'm going to follow through, but the timing just may be a little bit off. So I hope that's okay with you guys and you can forgive me. But anyway, as I get in today's episode, I really want to talk about something so important to me, and it's about being an author. And for those of you guys who don't know, today is January 17th. My Amazon book. I love you guys so much, and I love this community. I am just so honored for each of you because it blows my heart away that we were on, let me think about this, on Friday or Saturday, I think it was, we were a top 8,000 Amazon book in self-help spirituality. I mean, that is just crazy. I mean, there's like hundreds of thousands of books on Amazon, like so many books. So to be a top 8,000 in spirituality is like amazing. Well, overnight, I posted this, and you guys, we got to a top 3,000 book in spirituality, which still just blows me away. And on top of that, for you guys who don't know, we've been a top, I think it was 800 podcasts in education. We're a top 1,000 in health and wellness, and a top like 1,100 in business. And so it's like, I can't even believe it. Like if this book has been out for a month and it's a top 3,000, this podcast has only been out for not even 2 years yet. like what is yet to come, what is yet to happen. It's like just so exciting. And I don't know, it just makes me so excited about the future because it's like, wow, if these small things wins, and I don't know, these small wins, these things that seem like they're so impossible, right? Like when I was in 2017, so I'm just moving the mic to make sure you guys can hear me. When I was in 2017, I first started writing my book, like I knew nothing about writing a book. Like, let's just be honest. I knew nothing about writing a book. I knew nothing about grammar, your book cover, editing, like how you were to design your book so it flows. Like I knew nothing about this, right? I knew nothing about systems and processes. I knew nothing about monetization. I literally just had something inside of me that wanted to be shared with the world so that I could travel the world. That was literally the only thought that I had. And so to think what's happened in just, I mean, 4 years blows me away. Like it is something that's way beyond the mind could ever comprehend when you started off. And so I just wanted to take the time in this episode to walk you through some things that I think are important to think about and realize when you're building a podcast, a book, a blog, about how you become, in my journey to becoming a top one. How do you become that? How does that occur for you? So, with that, what I'd like to begin to share or say is that one, I have a course. The course is called How to Write, Publish, and Monetize Your Book, where I teach you, how I've really created one book, well, now 3 books and 4 and a poetry book, how I've created all these books and built really a mini empire in 3 or 4 years, and how you can too. Like, it's not like I have these special secrets that you don't have access to. Like, it really is, you know, something we all can do. And I've offered it at 67% off. So I'll leave the link in the show notes, or just make sure to reach out to me because it's only good until January 21st. So I think that's by Friday. It's only good till then. And then we're basically moving on to the next thing. So if you want to learn how to write, publish, monetize a book, or that's one of your goals this year, definitely make sure to get it while it's at the 67% discounted rate. Because I never offer that big of discounts. And on top of the 67% discount, you get 2 live Q&As with me. And I never offer something like this. Is one of the first times I've ever done that, but I wanted to do it because I've had so much excitement that I'm climbing the ladder and ranking in my books and my podcasts, that I wanted to teach more people how to begin. And I think that's the most important thing in this world is, how do you just start? How do you put one foot in front of the other and just say, today I'm going to pick up a pen and I'm going to write, or today I'm going to, pick up a pen and write, or today I'm just going to start. I'm just going to start sharing. I'm just gonna, like, even when I did my podcast, right? I got a microphone. I researched, I don't know, probably 10 hours about podcasting, and I picked my platform. I picked my things. And now I'm even speaking at PodFest in person for the 3rd time. Well, 2 were online. This is the 3rd time, but, which is the largest USA podcast, event in America. Like, it's just incredible. And it's in Orlando. If you do want to go, message me, because I have a call with them on the 25th. I do think if you sign up under me, you will get like a discount. So if you do want to go, reach out, let me know, so I make sure I get you the correct link, and you get my special discount or code. But the other thing that I wanted to share that I think it's important of me climbing these ranks and how you can do it is, I never set out in my business to, it's interesting. This is funny. I've never shared this live. I never set out in my business for my books or for my podcast to be like number one. Like, it was more like, well, my podcast was, all of you guys were requesting for me to do a podcast. And finally I had no option because I was getting requests like every week. And so I started it. But what I want to share more than that is that I never set out and was like, it needs to be number one. It needs to be this. So that's why, like, the magic of being something like 8,000 or 3,000, the magic of that feels so real and so exciting to me, or the magic of even being a top 1,000 podcast globally. That's not the US, it's globally. That's like, oh my God, like, that is, to me, that's so exciting. And I think I always just showed up and was myself. I was authentic. And even if it wasn't perfect, even if my hair was messy and I didn't have makeup and I didn't feel like it, and I talked too fast, and I don't know, I was in a mood, I still showed up and followed through on my commitments, If I said I was going to write, if I said I was going to show up for a podcast, I still did it. Like I said, right now it's a little bit tricky with the times with my schedule, but I still committed to it. So I'm still going to do it every Monday, as best as I can to get it done. And that builds confidence and momentum in yourself because you're like, wow, I'm really doing something. I'm really creating something. I'm really showing up in the process just to enjoy my life. Like, I don't know, if I wasn't talking to you guys, I'd be writing in my journal, lost in my own thoughts anyway. So I might as well show up and be present or live on here. So what else was I going to say? I think where I messed up in my business, and this is why I so believe in this how to write, publish, and monetize your book course, is where I messed up in my business is that when I first had Instagram, I grew it to like 10,000 followers, but it was through like the follow unfollow method. Like it was a mentor of mine and she had this business and I was doing it. And I ended up deleting that account because it was like so many fake followers and people that you just didn't want to, people that didn't matter basically. So I restarted my Instagram accounts twice because then what it was hacked, right? I got to 1,000 people and it was hacked. So I deleted that one. And then I kept my one that was at 400 people now, right? But I was so focused in early social media days of like having that number, like having the 10,000, the million, like the 100,000. Like I was so focused on that it like almost didn't happen. And I was like taking shortcuts. Whereas like with my podcast, with my book, I was never taking shortcuts. I never started out with wanting to be a number or whatever. Like obviously, yes, bestseller, that's always amazing. But I never started out like wanting, that was the goal. The goal in writing a book is to be a bestseller. That was never the goal. The goal in my podcast was never to set out and be a best podcast. It was because all of you guys literally were in my DMs and messages being like, start a podcast. And like, I finally had to do it because it was like literally almost daily that I was getting messages from you guys. And all my clients, then remember I was going on dates and all the guys I was like going on dates with, they're like, you need to start a podcast. I'm like, oh my God, if one more message comes to me about this dang podcast. And so I started it, right? And the podcast even originally started out with a man's best friend because I understand men really well and the masculine. And it seemed like my whole life, I always had a lot of guys who were like my best friends, but it was like never sexual or romantic. And well, maybe for them, but it wasn't for me. And I'd always help them with all these things of understanding women and they would like fall in love and it would make me so happy. And then I was like, okay, Colleen, maybe that's not how you want to brand yourself because you still want to be inclusive to women and the masculine that's in women. So I obviously changed it just to my name, the Colleen Gallagher podcast, because I already branded, myself in that way in every other area. And I just like Colleen Gallagher better than a man's best friend because I like my name and I don't want to be thinking of like, I'm just, yeah, anyway. So, but right when I started that out, I never went to see like, I'm going to be a top podcast in here or there. Like it literally was just like, I'm going to share what I need to share, write what I need to write, and then it's all going to happen. And ironically, when you work and operate out of that way, that's when magic and miracles happens. That's how I have podcast sponsors. And I have had it for most of my podcast career, right? When most people, they're in their 8th, 9th, 10th year of podcasting, they still don't have sponsors. And so how I've done that, right, is from showing up consistently, even when it looked like it wasn't working, even when I had 1 or 2 or 3 downloads. I remember when it was like 8 downloads a week and I'd be so happy. And now we're at like 1,000 downloads or like 1,100 downloads every 90 days. I'm like, God, can you imagine when it's going to be 1,100 downloads in 7 days? Like I get more excited about that, but I never started for that result. I started just to share. I started because you guys asked me to. And with the book, like it's so exciting to see it jump from 8,000 to 3,000 on top Amazon spiritual books, like in a day overnight, because it means that the work is working. It means that you guys are listening. It means that we really are building a community and that you guys want to be part of the change, that you guys want to be included in helping the book get there. So more people get the wisdom, get the teachings that have transformed you. And to me, that's just priceless. It's something amazing. It's something that you can't buy. And so anyway, that is just a snippet of what I teach in my How to Write, Publish, and Monetize Your Book course. I teach you how to write your book. I kind of went all over my podcast and book there, but I basically want you to know it is about the numbers, but it's not about the numbers. It's about just starting. It's about knowing that there's something inside of you that wants to be unleashed into the world. It wants to be shared. It wants to have momentum. It wants to have consistency. It wants to have reliability. It's like a relationship with someone, but instead, this is a relationship with your soul. It's a relationship with your inner self, your inner being. And that inner being doesn't want to just like have a one night stand, or if you think about it, like it doesn't want to have sex just once a month or be intimate once a month. It wants you to be intimate with it consistently, reliably, at a timeline where it knows like she's going to be fully present or he's going to be fully present with me during this podcast. Like I get full time to just express through her and connect with her. And like that is an intimate moment with you and yourself. It's being shared with the world in a way, but that's what that inner being is here for, to be shared with others, connection. And that's why we're all here. Humans need connection. We thrive off connection. And so when you create that space and time of consistency for your internal self, whether that's writing a post every day, whether it's doing a video once a week, whether it's a podcast, whether it's writing in like starting to write your book 5 minutes a day, just begin to write and let your mind wander. Whether that's, making the steps, I'm going to make my first LLC, like it's making the steps for your business. Just start. And that it's like a date with yourself in a way. Like once you do that consistently and reliably, and your inner being sees that you're doing that, so much changes just so quickly, like so quickly. And it's one of the most beautiful experiences because it's one of the most beautiful experiences because you really get to remember why you're here, and you really get to dive deeper into the beauty and the truth of you. And when you create those consistent, reliable habits, are offerings of you and your inner being expressing itself in whatever medium that is: art, architect, interior design, speaking, whatever that it is. You grow because you learn more about yourself, and you like open up into this beautiful little flower that you never knew, because you're like watering yourself, and you're giving yourself sunlight, and you're nourishing yourself when you do that. And when that happens, your inner being sees that, and it begins to give you more ideas and give you more creativity, and allows you to feel more expansive and more connected to the world around you. So anyway, I think that's what I have to share. I was just so excited, and I'm so grateful, you guys. If you have not bought my book yet, Live Your Truth, please, please, please go to Amazon and grab it so we can be bestseller. I'd be so excited by the end of the month if we get in the top 100. It would just mean the world to me. So make sure to go and grab it. Just boom, click. Your card information is probably already on there. If you don't use Amazon, you can go to Target, Barnes and Nobles. Goodreads, it's on, a lot of different platforms. So anyway, with that, I just want to tell you, I love you, and, make sure to grab it. And also, if you're wanting to become an author, you're wanting my secret 5-step process that I created of how I write all my books, all my posts, definitely get in this. I take you through the track of self-publishing versus published. And so I've done both, why it's important to understand which one you want to set your book up for. And then I also go through monetization. So how do you take a podcast like this, and how do you get sponsors? And we're going to the next level of monetization after the 52 weeks are over, which is exciting. But we're already building that out and getting ready for that. And that's super exciting. It's like we're already planning for something that's going to be happening in September. Like how incredible is that, to like have things to look forward to and everything in the process through them. So, and also our 2-year anniversary is going to be in March. I'm going to do something so special for it. So make sure you guys stay tuned. It's going to be incredible. I want to make sure that you're there. And we really enjoy that time together, because I'm just so proud of this. So anyway, I love you. Make sure to buy the book, go to Amazon, buy the book, and send me a photo of you with the book, and also leave a review. And then also, if you want to become an author, a writer, definitely, you can go to my social media post, message me, or click the link here, to get enrolled. That 67% off is only going to be good till January 21st. So it's a huge discount. And plus you get 2 live Q&As with myself and anyone who knows. Being on a live Q&A with me when everyone else is asking questions, you can ask questions. I really go above and over the top. So make sure you're there. I love you. Have a beautiful start to your week, third week of January. And I just hope that you know you're so loved, you're on the right place. And the only way that you're going to evolve is by you taking action, by you choosing to invest money into yourself, into your education, which is what Colleen Gallagher International is. It's an online education platform that we also do retreats and in-person things, but you can't look at it as like you don't have the money. Instead of it's like you are making an investment in yourself to get a return on investment. So for an example, for my PhD, right? I didn't necessarily have the money, but I chose to have the money so that I could invest it into 3 years of my life so that I could get a return on investment. And that return on investment is going to do massive things for my goals in this world. And so if you want to become an author, you're going to want to learn from someone who's already done it. You're going to invest your money into education so you learn from the mistakes that I made so you don't make them. They always say the biggest difference between a millionaire and a billionaire is a millionaire learns from their own mistakes, a billionaire learns from the mistakes of others. And so I want to be an offering of my mistakes so you don't make those. Your life is simpler, it's easier, it's more fulfilling. So anyway, I love you. Have a beautiful day. And I hope to hear from you soon, wherever you are in the world. And I hope to see you somewhere soon in the world as it's reopening.